Hey guys, it's Nurse Bunny. Let's talk about a helicopter operations emergency called Vortex Ring state. You might have heard this called settling with power, but first we have to understand how a helicopter actually holds itself up off of the ground, suspended in the air. So our wings here are not just flat blades. They have a shape to where the top of them is curved, and when those spin around, that generates lift by creating low pressure on top of the rotor wing or the rotor blade and higher pressure beneath it, which gives us lift. And we know that the outside edge of the rotor blade spins faster and generates more thrust than we have here where it connects to the main rotor system. So when the rotor blades are turning, it pushes air down below it. Kind of like when you're treading water, you're pushing water down to keep your head above the surface of the water. That's exactly what the helicopter blades are doing here. As a matter of fact, here's a pretty cool video that shows you what happens to the air that's surrounding the helicopter as it's hovering, it's suspending itself in the middle of the air. Now, to maintain this, we have to have a fresh system of air all the time, which means we have to have airspeed going through it so that we don't get caught up in our own swirling air. And that's where we call it the vortex ring state. And so if we're trying to land downwind and that wind coming from behind us is the same speed that we're traveling, we're essentially moving the same speed as the air mass, and that's going to cause settling with power. And then instead of generating that thrust to push the helicopter up into that hover and maintain distance from the ground, it's actually going to woof, fall down so quickly. And it's going to be made worse if you try to pull more power into it, because where we were getting that power more at the end and less up here, we're actually getting a swirl in our own air, and it's going to push us even faster toward the ground. So now you understand a little bit more about vortex ring state. And as a helicopter nurse, what can I do about it? Absolutely nothing. But I'm not worried about it because I have amazing pilots that are never going to let that happen.